This is my overview of Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort in Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida. So if you're thinking of staying here, then keep watching to see what it's like. The hotel has lots of different sections, so I stayed in room 1533, which is in the Barbados section. So I just opened my room with my magic band, and this room was on the second floor, and it's a corner unit, which just means you get an extra window. Everything else is the same. So it has 2 queen-size beds, and then there's just a little nook with nothing here. And it was kind of annoying. The only way to turn on and off the lights above your bed was that thing in the middle, which was a bit of a reach, but it was still manageable. And then you have your TV console area over here, and then there's some drawers for storage, and then a little mini fridge. And then a bench, which also has a nice big drawer for storage. And there's no separate closet, closed closet, it's just open where the bathroom is. There is a curtain that you can pull to cord off the bathroom from the rest of the room. And then there's lots of counter space in the vanity with underneath space as well. And then going into the actual bathroom area where the toilet and the tub was and shower, it is a very small room. I'm not claustrophobic, but when I had that door closed, it was, yeah, pretty tight. Basically, if you were sitting on the toilet, you couldn't have the door halfway open. It had to be all the way open or all the way closed, otherwise your knees would hit it. But aside from that, it's pretty basic. And the room is nothing too special, but you go to Disney World to go to the parks, not to hang out in your room. The property is gorgeous though. This is walking between the Barbados section, and each section is a different color, so it makes it easy to tell where you are, and it's nicely labeled. And each section also has their own pool area, just with a pool and some lounge chairs. And then almost each section has their own beach area, which has lounge chairs and hammocks and looks out onto the lake. But you can go and sit on any beach, it doesn't really matter. This would just be closest. And then you can see the blue buildings in the back, which is a different section. And then here's the common area. So there was just a fountain, there's a bar, and then kind of looking beyond, there's a pool. And then to the left of us, that is the dining area. So you see all the chairs outside. And that is Shutter's Restaurant, which is a sit-down dining room. We didn't end up going there, but they also have a self-serve dining area, which is open until 11 o'clock every night, so that is perfect. And they have a little bit more outdoor seating as well, but then they have a lot of seating inside. And then here you can also rent boats or other water activities, so you can kind of cruise around on the lake. And then here we have inside, and like I said, there's a lot of chairs, but if you go around breakfast time, around 8 o'clock, all of these seats do fill up, but you can also take it back to your room. And then here we have just the drink section with pop, coffee, and everything, and then the way to pay. And they have lots of different self-serve areas. There's a grab and go, which is like cereals and cookies and cupcakes and yogurt. And then there was the pizza place and a hamburger place, and then the broiler for meat and a deli. And most of these places, aside from the grab and go and maybe the deli, you actually don't pay for it there. You get your food and you get your receipt, and then you go over to these checkout counters and you pay for everything there. So you can go to different places at once and only have one bill. So then this is the pool area, the main pool area. That is the bigger one. It's kind of made to look like an old fort. And there's some children area, and there's a hot tub and like a water slide as well. So it's just a bigger lounging pool area. And then there's also just lots of green and beaches and the big lake. It's really beautiful to look at. It is a very big property. There's a bus that goes around that'll then take you to the parks, and the bus takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get all around, so if you were walking it would take even longer, but we still did some walking around. And then this is a little island in the middle, the Caribbean Cay, and it's a nice boardwalk area with lots of different kind of paths. So there's a gazebo here, and then at other places there's just like a little seating area that you can just hang out in, and it's nice and quiet. You don't actually hear the screaming from the pool area, so that's good. And then as you walk a little bit further, there's also a little playground, which that may get a little bit louder, but yeah, we didn't really hear it too much. And there's just some more peaceful areas with some hammocks and sand. And as you see the rest of the area, I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed staying here. I'll definitely stay here at the hotel again if I come back to Disney World. It was close to the parks, only about a 10 to 15-minute bus ride to all of the different parks, and the buses came regularly, so you didn't have to wait too long. And like I said, we stayed in the Barbados section, and when the buses came, we were always last to be picked up, so we didn't have to sit on the bus while it went around the whole resort and stopped at the other 10 or so sections. And when we were dropped off after the park, we were either dropped off first, or then it went to Martinique third, and then it was only like a 2-minute walk back to the Barbados section, so we did that. So I would definitely request the Barbados section in the future again, because yeah, it was really good. And it was one of the middle price Disney hotels, so nice and pretty affordable, and it was just really beautiful, and I'm glad I stayed here.